JoAnne. Why didn't I get her to give me her last name?
Lo and behold, the Pizza Hut of Kinston, North Carolina. Now, why am I filming the Pizza Hut of Kinston, North Carolina? Because it fits in with my story. As a matter of fact, on that side right there, fits in with my story. How does this video of Pizza Hut tie in to the video you are about to see? Well, it happened on a September night, on a Friday night, sometime between 11:30 to 11:45. I was getting off work, and I walked into the dining room. I had my red plastic book bag with my notebook and my ordinary clothes in it to go into the restroom to change out of my uniform so I could sit in as a customer and have my favorite waitress, Sissy, wait on me. I had fallen in love with her. The reason I got the job was because of her. Well, as I came out into the dining room, as I was walking towards the restroom, I noticed in a group of about 12 to 15 young people, this good-looking girl, tall, auburn hair, button-up shirt with the sleeves rolled up, long, trim, sumptuous forearms with those coming out of those sleeves. This girl looked good. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd have to say this girl was probably a 10 or an 11. Well, I turned and walked to a booth and threw my book sack into that booth so that when I came out, I could sit there and work on my notebook and glance at her every so often. Well, I took my change of clothes, hurried to the bathroom, and hurried to change, wanting to get back out before they could finish their meal and leave, and came back out and sat down. Man, that girl looked good. I started writing in my notebook. I was so excited, so wired. I couldn't concentrate on what I was writing, so I would make a mistake. I'd rip the notebook page out of my notebook, crumple it up loudly, just hoping she'd notice and would look at me. I started writing on the 4th page or something like that, and I heard a voice call at me, "What you working so hard on over there?" It was a girl. I looked up, I'm like, trying to affect some modesty. "Oh, it's nothing. It's just a game I'm working on. When you finish it, we'll play with you. Come over here and show it to us." I'm like, "Oh, give me a minute just to get my stuff up." Well, before I could get up, her and another, a good-looking girl too, long, brunette, good-looking girl, healthy-looking girl. They got up and started walking over to my booth. Well, one of the guys called out to her and said, "Ooh, go get him, JoAnne." And she's like, "Don't listen to him. I've already got a boyfriend. He just doesn't know it." "Where is your boyfriend?" "Raleigh." "Move, please." Well, I like the way she took control. So I moved my book sack out of the other booth opposite me and put it down beside me, and she said, "Thank you." As the other girl slid in first, and then she slid in behind her.
She had the long legs like a goddess. She was hotter than a model. I bet you fresh out of college. I was 17. Looking up what? Suddenly, she was sitting down across from me. Such a striking creature, like a bolt of lightning. She was striking up a conversation with me. What was I supposed to say? I was trembling like the stormy seas. I was shaking like the waves in a hurricane. I asked for her name. JoAnne, she told me. I wrote it down in my notebook. She gently scolded me for leaving off the E.
They were a week or so ago. I was talking to two friends probably in the same booth that I knew from grade school, Benji and his sister. They were sitting across from me in the same booth. Nothing spectacular, just another human being sitting across from me. But now we had two top-notch, super good-looking girls sitting across from me. This is not normal, man. This didn't happen, and yet here it was happening. I was shaking like a leaf. I had to start talking because they weren't saying nothing after this. And they were just waiting for me to start talking. I had to say something because I was hoping they didn't notice how badly I was shaking. So I started talking, and then this girl says, wait a minute, let me get this straight. I'm thinking, oh no, I've done messed it up already. Well, at least I still got Sissy as my friend. You don't like, in real life, violence, if you're watching TV or a show, you like violence, yes, but in real life it bothers you, yes. Okay, I'm thinking, I didn't mess it up after all. So we were talking, she asked, do you like working here? I'm like, oh yes, I love it. And so I figured I'd show her the code, alphabet. I was working on how to change the alphabet letters around, use the number code. And so I started showing her how this code worked. And she said, wait a minute, back up. You're going too fast for me. Explain this shit to me. So I went back and started explaining it more in detail to her. And she's like, oh, it finally lit up in her mind. And that wasn't the first time she was like, oh. So I said, okay, well, let me tell you. I showed her what my name was in the code. Give the buzzbacks Ravenica Cuxta. So I asked for their name. JoAnne was her name. Her name was JoAnne. So I spelled it out. Capital J-O, capital A-N-N.
JoAnne. Why didn't I get her to give me her last name?
So I spelled it out. Capital J-O, capital A-N-N, and showed her. Puette. She said, wait a minute. You spelled my name wrong, and it's not going to come out right if you do that. So I asked her, how do you spell your name? And J-O-A-N-N-E. Then it came out as Puetta. The girl was smart. Impressed me that this girl was smart, too. Had some good presence of mind. I asked the other girl her name. Michelle. Her name came out Sagbar. That's the only... I think she was there either for moral support for her friend or just to make sure her friend didn't get in too deep. Her long-lost JoAnne didn't get herself into something she couldn't get out. Because that was the only thing she said to me. Well, we were talking, and she asked... And then I'm trying to think, there was one more thing we talked about. I forgot. She asked me if I liked working there. And by the time... my waitress, Sissy, comes over about to take my order, but she sees the two girls sitting there, she steps back and says, oh, so you all may have met Chris, haven't you? And like, yeah, well, he started working here he came to work for us about 2 months ago. So Sissy knew these people. Turn! And we talked a little bit more, and finally, that pizza came out, and she explained that they had to go because the pizza was out, and so, they went back to the table, and I continued writing in my notebook. Made another mistake. Tore the page out, crumpled it up. I looked up, and there she was, sitting at her table, looking at me. So I did that back to her.
Boy, that girl, she was like an injection of steroids. She really had me pumping. She had me thinking I was a Mac Daddy. She was getting frisky like a kitty on catnip. I gazed into the dark brown eyes. They were shining like neon lights. That's when I noticed red highlights in her hair. I was stone cold sober. We were both of us drunk at this moment. How did I forget to get her to give me her last name? She said she had to leave me. She'd be back again in a week to see me. It's been 22 and 1/2 years since then. Writing this, I'm still waiting. Growing older. Why didn't I get her to give me her last name?
I had a feeling they'd come back and talk to me again. Well, not a day, but she would at least. And sure enough, I was right. When it was time for them to go, I remember in the group there was this real big woman who kept laughing at something. She was tickled about something. She kept... this real big woman. But anyways, I was thinking, man, I'm glad it was the good-looking girl who came to talk to me, not her. I would, because she was the best-looking girl in the whole... Well, finally... One of the guys said, well, it was time to go. She said, well, let me go say goodbye to my friend. She got up, pushed the chair in, came over, sat back down, talking to me. She was more frisky, more loose, more like a cat on cat than now. So I asked her, where was the other girl? Oh, she had to go home. So we were talking, and she said, oh, the reason I asked you if you liked working here was because you looked like some college student who just couldn't wait to hurry up and get out of here. Punctuated with a nervous laughter. I'm like, oh no, I love working here. I was just ready to, and that's another thing that struck me. Back then I wanted to look older than what I was. and I was only 17. And this girl was probably anywhere from 21 to 23, and she was thinking I was an older guy. Yes, I loved it. And so I showed her some more of my code, and she was more, showed her some, and she looked up at me with eyes that actually glowed. So I showed her a phrase, Baru Orokazaji, and translated it for her. Hello, I love pizza. She's like, look at that, I knew what that word was before you told me. Happy. And so finally the guy was like, come on, JoAnne, it's time to go. She's like, okay, I'll be in under 10 minutes. And we kept talking a little bit longer. Finally he calls out there, come on, JoAnne. And she's like, look at him trying to rush me. Wow. I was impressed with this girl. Where are you, JoAnne? I just got to see you one more time to know that conversation, were you talking to me because you were drunk and a little bit tipsy and that made you think I was a good looking guy? Or why did you talk to me? I'm hoping against hope that she thought I was a good looking guy and saw something in me that was attracted her, and I'm hoping she wasn't just drunk and tipsy and forgot about it the next day.
Joe, I just gotta know, that cold September night, that Friday night, did I light your fire? Was it me? Do you even remember? Or were you simply tipsy on beer?
Where are you, JoAnne? My only clue where this girl could be is Raleigh, North Carolina. But heck, she's probably married, divorced, remarried, got 2 or 3 kids. Where are you, JoAnne? My only regret for this whole encounter was I didn't ask her a single question about herself. Well, I did ask her, when my pizza came out, the second time she was over there talking, I did offer her some of my pizza. She said, no thanks. I'm such a selfish individual. I should have asked her what her name was. I didn't even ask her her last name. What school she went to. What college did she go to college? Where she worked at. I'm full of regrets. I just wish I would have asked her a little bit more about her. She knew Sissy. So I've asked Sissy, and Sissy's best friend, who used to be the assistant manager there, but they haven't been able to help me. They know the name, but they just can't help me. Where are you, JoAnne?
One last shot.
JoAnne, why didn't I get her to give me her last name?